So this is a bit crazy. The full M5 chip line isn't even out yet, and there are already things bubbling around the M6. The reason? They're making a bunch of big moves here. Apple's rumored to be working on a next-gen MacBook Pro designed refresh built around the M6 chip, an OLED display on higher-end models, 5G cellular capabilities, and brace yourself, touchscreen support. Listen, I want to be optimistic, but there are so many things about this that I have a problem with, some of which are that Apple is going back on their own word. Walk with me. Sup, Brian? Let's actually unpack what the leaks are saying, because there are specifics here. 1. The M6 chip, of course. Reports say the M6 family will be a generational jump. Think better performance per watt. Things are pointing to Apple using a next-gen process node, which would let the M6 push more power while sipping less battery, which means, faster build, smoother renders, longer battery, etc. If Apple gets this right, it's the real upgrade that most pros care about. Honestly, they're competing with only themselves at this point. It's insane. Then there's OLED displays. Multiple reports peg OLED as the display upgrade Apple finally wants to deploy. OLED gives deeper blacks, better contrast, and true HDR, not that fake stuff I gotta turn off in my settings whenever I get a new device. But, and this is important, sources say OLED in the full redesign may be reserved for the M6 Pro and M6 Max machines, not the base M6. Yup, they're finally gatekeeping features on the more expensive models like they have been doing with the iPads, like with their nano texture displays. So if you want that cool, sleek, new machine and true blacks, be prepared to sign away a couple of those. They're not playing around here. Thinner chassis and revised hinge. Yes, thinner. The leak specifically mentioned a slimmer frame and redesigned hinge to accommodate touch. Apple's also reportedly testing a hole punch or different front camera layout to replace the notch. Less bezel, lighter weight. So I'm guessing they're going to be doing some sort of dynamic island of sorts, or a dynamic continent. What? The screen's bigger, so cellular 5G possibilities. There's also chatter about Apple exploring Mac-level modems, a second-gen C2 modem or similar, which could mean built-in cellular connectivity in future Macs. That would be a genuine convenience for travelers especially, but again, likely a high-end only or later option. Built-in 5G would be nice, especially when free Wi-Fi at coffee shops are always a hit or miss. And then there's touchscreen. Yes, really. Bloomberg and other outlets have been repeating the same claim for months. Apple's considering a touchscreen for the MacBook Pro, with an improved hinge to stop the display wobble when poked. Apple has historically resisted adding touch to MacBooks for ergonomic reasons, so this is a notable shift in their philosophy. If this ships, it'll be one of the biggest Mac design pivots in years. So, real upgrades, but with asterisks. The full package looks intended for top-tier M6 Pro/Max models, while the base models might just get the chip bump. That matters because if you're hoping to get the redesign without paying a premium, the rumors say you're probably dreaming. Now, before I get into why some aspects of this are bugging me, I know for sure that security on a device like that would be of the utmost importance, as well as any Mac that you hold dear to your heart. That's why this video is sponsored by MacPaw, here to help with their brand new dedicated software. Think of Moonlock like a friendly bodyguard for your Mac. It watches in the background, blocks nasties in real time, and doesn't scream at you every 10 minutes with alerts that makes you paranoid. It brings proper, modern, anti-malware protection to macOS, and human-friendly explanations so you're not sitting there decoding a security manual. If you're thinking, do I need antivirus on Mac? Short answer, yes. In 2025, you do. Whether it would be supposed assets, elements I want for videos, or files for potential partnerships or collaborations, I am at risk constantly. I've had close calls in the past as well, which is why I know how serious situations like this could be. So here are the key features you'll actually care about. Malware scanner for scheduled deep scans, handy if you like to download questionable apps. Real-time protection that blocks threats as they appear. No drama. You can even schedule automated scans as well. Quarantine protects your system by safely isolating detected malware. And it even has a built-in VPN and privacy tools to help hide your real location and protect your browsing from potential hackers and your internet provider. Try Moonlock free for 7 days today and use my code code MacProtect for 10% off. Don't take my word for it. Check it out in the link in the description below. Your future self will thank you. And thank you to Moonlock by MacPaw for sponsoring this video. Now we get to the part where I stop pretending to be a neutral reporter and just say what's obvious. This direction bugs me. First, the thin obsession. Again, Apple already has the MacBook Air for people who want the thinnest, lightest experience. The MacBook Pro was the opposite. Thicker for thermals, ports, battery, and performance. Making the Pro thinner is not progress, it's a trade-off. We saw the same stuff with the M4 iPad Pro, and I expressed that stepping on the identity of the Air's toes is not what the Pro needs at all. My argument especially stands with the MacBook Pro, as unlike the iPads, you are not limited by the software. The last thing we need for the MacBook Pros is them to be thinner, putting them at potential risk of performance, i.e. Intel Macs. Have we already forgotten the hell we've been through? Apple Silicon Macs may be good at dealing with heat, but even they're not immune to heat issues. No device is perfect, okay? Second, the touchscreen idea. No. If you want your $2,000 screen to be covered in greasy fingerprints instantly, sure, a touchscreen would help. Reaching out to touch a laptop screen I've always found awkward and tiring. Apple has always insisted this for a reason, a good reason, product identity being one of them. Apple used to be proud of that distinction. There is one real narrow upside though, improved tablet/drawing support. macOS has always been a little finicky with drawing tablets, so there's an opportunity to make things smoother and reduce choppy zooming or input lag, which would be a legitimate pro for artists and creative pros. But that's the only practical use case I see. Everything else seems a bit unnecessary. So in theory, if you're a digital artist, touch would mean better quality of life improvements in macOS. But that doesn't take away the fact that it's like adding a sunroof to a submarine. And don't forget the historical bit. Apple publicly resisted touch on MacBook for years. The company's stance has been touch is for iPad. If they pivot now, it's not because they were enlightened, it's because the marketing team got hungry for new product lines. When a company that once said no to touch now says maybe, I get skeptical. Like, what are we really doing here? But, okay, let me be fair. The M6 era could be good. OLED would genuinely improve image quality for creators. A more efficient M6 chip means real performance gains. Built-in cellular would be nice. Practical convenience for people who travel. There are real, measurable upgrades coming out of this. I want to at least make that clear. But here's the imbalance. Great hardware only matters if it's implemented sensibly. If Apple turns the Pro into a thinner, potentially hotter laptop with a smudged touchscreen and a Pro price tag, that's way worse than incremental updates. Also, if they reserve the good stuff for top-tier models only, a lot of us will be priced out of meaningful upgrades. So my stance? Cautious optimism and heavy skepticism. I want OLED and better silicon. I do not want thinness for the sake of thinness or gimmicky touchscreen. If Apple can deliver the performance and thermals while adding genuinely useful features, I'll clap. But I do think we are going to have a conversation about what Apple products even mean anymore if we continue down this direction, since the lines are getting blurred more and more every year. So, what do you think? Touchscreen MacBook, brilliant, gross, or both? Let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to support the channel and get something in return, check out my Patreon to get perks like getting access to videos early, getting your own Ryan avatar made, and more, along with my Ryan and Ryan Pro subscribers, Vasco, Francisco Beck, and Miss Game. Thank you all for the support as it keeps me dropping videos consistently, and thank you, viewer, for watching. If you want to see more of me, you know what to do. Listen, I still haven't forgotten the hell we went through with those Intel Macs, man. What we should be bringing back is those glowing logos. Yes, it's been a decade now, and no, I'm still not over it. Please, Apple, I'm begging you.